What a great start to the new year, huh? Fucking Maduro gets picked up out of Venezuela. I mean, you know, I'm kind of like a couple different minds about this Venezuela thing. First of all, I'm overall against it. You know what I mean? But it hasn't really panned out yet. So it's hard to decide right now if it's going to turn out right or wrong or good or bad. But I don't know, 99% of the other interventions the U.S. has ever done have all turned out to be an utter disaster, haven't really helped the people of the places they invaded and took out the leaders or regime changed them. It's it have never really worked out great, you know. But I have to say, the operation was fucking badass. I mean, they land a fucking helicopter or more than one helicopter on a military base, jump out, take out all the guards he must have, fucking kick the door in, and right as he's about to get in his little panic room thing, they're like, nah, you're too late. That's pretty cool. Fucking badass. Props to those dudes. It does show that the United States is not to be fucked with, which is good for the political class in the United States, right? It's good for Trump and it's good for the deals that the government wants to make with other governments because other governments are going to be intimidated and it puts people on notice, right? There are a lot of bad dudes out there. Maduro's a pretty bad guy. You know, I don't think there's any disputing that. Now, they haven't really, by taking out Maduro, they haven't taken down the regime. The regime pretty much still in place. There's still very high level people in power. And apparently, the Trump administration is claiming, but those motherfuckers work for us now. So don't worry about them. We're going to leave them there. It's the same oppressive regime to the people as it was before. We're going to leave them in there. They're just going to do whatever the fuck we say. Well, we'll see. Right? We don't know. There's a whole bunch of probably factions in Venezuela, politically and gang wise and whatever, that probably are going to be like, no, we're not going to do any of that shit. Right? And so this could blow up in America's face as it always has before. It could be the one fucking invasion that somehow delivers positive effects, tangible positive effects for the American people as well as the people of Venezuela. I don't think it's going to go that way. So I think Trump is once again getting seduced or persuaded by people within his administration that have his ear that this is the best way to go. Trump sees things in dollar signs. So he's like, shit, we might lose this fucking tariff thing at the Supreme Court. That's going to fuck it. You know what I mean? We're not really going to be able to grow our way out of this debt. We're not going to ever be able to pay back the debt. We don't even have enough money to spend on the shit we want to do right now. How am I going to solve this problem? So any good story that anyone within his administration, Marco Rubio, whoever it could be, is telling him about how much money this is going to bring the United States because they get to take all the fucking oil in Venezuela, I think that's probably Trump's motivation, right? Trump wants to do whatever he can to get the economy back on track in the United States. I'm sure he does because that is going to count against the Republicans at the midterms if he doesn't, right? He's not delivering on that as well as numerous other things. He's been disappointing, I have to say. All right, so as cool as the Maduro thing was, and look, if the United States is obviously going to still be the world police, whether the people of America want it or not, whether we want it or not living in America, it looks like Trump is not going to get off the America's going to be an empire, and it's going to stay that way. I don't think Trump is moving from that position whatsoever. I think Trump is very much, to my surprise, the president that's like, no, we are going to run the whole shit and we are going to be the police of the world and everybody's going to shut the fuck up. Now, if that comes just by taking out Maduro, you know what I mean? And everybody else kind of gets in line and is like, all right, let's play ball. Then fine. You know what I mean? That's kind of the way it works. Until the United States meets an opponent that's going to be able to kick their ass, they're just going to bully everybody around, right? As under Trump, that's the way it's going to go. Now, I kind of agree with that, but where I don't agree is basically what Trump is doing is he is flying into another country and kidnapping their president, whether the United States believes that that guy was elected legally or not, or whatever the fuck. All that shit doesn't matter. You know what I mean? This just means that, okay, so if we don't like the leader of somewhere, I guess the new rules are we can just go in and fucking take those bitches out and that's it. Right? Because we're done with them motherfuckers, right? But no, what Trump is saying is America can do that. Everybody else can't do that. Only we can do that. That's basically what's happening. And while that might be good for America that it puts everybody on notice, I don't know if that's what the American people necessarily want. You know what I'm saying? I guess if the American people like the idea of, listen, the only way we get to keep our, standard of living in America is if we do things like this: steal other people's oil, go invade other countries, do completely immoral, illegal shit in order to steal other people's assets because we need them, or we say that we need them. And on the one hand, they're saying, well, we have more oil in America than we can actually deal with, and we're going to become a major exporter. And then they're like, what? But we need Venezuela's oil. Why? You know what I mean? No, they just want control of the oil. I get it. Look, I get it. There's a pretty good case to be made, too, that Venezuela kind of owes the America quite a bit of money, American companies, oil companies, quite a bit of money from back in the day. I don't know exactly the story, but it sure does seem like Venezuela does owe the United States. So that's another reason why I'm like, well, okay, in this case, right, I guess they have their reasons, you know what I mean? But, and look, I don't give a shit about, oh, well, he didn't ask Congress, and Congress, look, none of the fucking presidents that I've ever seen in my whole life have ever followed these rules, so I'm not going to hold Trump to those standards either. That would be ridiculous, right? That would be ridiculous. But what, you know what I mean? As long as America can maintain their empire and other people just get in line, then it's all right. You know what I mean? It's all right. Then just live with it. The whole thing about America first and no more unnecessary wars and blah, blah, that was apparently all just bullshit. So get over that part, I guess, you know what I mean? And just go with it and be like, look, all right, look, America is going to do whatever the fuck they want. And I guess take the position of some of the woke right, as I call them, that like, look, well, I'd rather be under the reign of American empire than I would under a Russian empire or the China empire. Yeah, look, me too, but I also don't know that there's such a risk of China or Russia taking over the world and subjugating everybody in other countries to live according to their fucking communism or whatever the fuck it is they do. I don't see that happening. You know what I mean? And there's nobody has laid out any fucking proof that's ever going to happen, right? It's just going on speculation. So I think that America is overstepping its bounds. And I think that the American people also don't necessarily want the America to remain the world police, right? And that's what they're saying they're going to continue to do. So that's it. I mean, that's it. They're just going to do, it's the status quo. Basically, Donald Trump has delivered up thus far everything that other presidents have delivered, and not very many things that he was supposed to deliver, like accountability for the fucking deep state and the Democrat corrupt politicians. You know what I'm saying? And for all, we know the list, right? That's one thing, you know what I mean? The economy's still pretty shitty. The getting out of the Ukraine bullshit and stop spending taxpayer money on it. Cut government spending, cut a bunch of fucking, government offices and shit like that, which they're trying to do. But, some things are happening, some things aren't. USAID, AID, gone, very good. But the National Endowment for Democracy is still there, which is basically the same shit. So there's one pop up for another. It's like playing fucking, what's it called, with the little gophers and shit. You got to hit with the mallet. You know what I mean? It's fucking nuts. They're not getting shit done. It doesn't seem like. It's a lot of talk, no accountability for anybody. And the things that they try to get done are getting blocked with judges. Rogue judges blocking everything. They're letting Kilmar Abrego Garcia fucking just dog walk them all over the fucking place. Kilmar's out there going, fuck you, fuck these fascists. They can't even kick me out. I can't speak English. I'm a drug dealing narco trafficker. I've trafficked kids. I asked for fucking nudes from an underage girl. I'm a wife beater, illegal alien, and these motherfuckers can't do shit to me. Fuck you. That's what he's doing. Making TikTok videos and shit. So, look, apparently Trump is going to give you guys the same shit as pretty much every other president before him. I thought he was going to be different. I thought it was going to be much greater. Maybe I'll be wrong again. It's only the first year, you know what I mean? But it's been a real disappointing first year, I have to say. The first 100 days were like, yeah. And then after that, it just went to shit. It just went to shit. When the Epstein shit happened, the whole thing crashed. You know what I mean? And ever since then, there's been no chance for accountability for anybody. Nobody's getting arrested. You know, Dan Bongino's out there fucking threatening everybody in MAGA because, oh, you guys are the black pillars that are criticizing Trump and blah, blah, blah. He thinks he can get back on his fucking podcast, you know, and lecture us. This fucking cocksucker that went in there and didn't do shit is going to come out and lecture us. Fuck you, Dan Bongino. Eat a dick, motherfucker. You know what I mean? Seriously. These motherfuckers are crazy, right? So basically right now what we're getting from Trump is basically what every other president's done. They're going to invade everywhere. They're going to do their thing. They're going to steal other people's shit. And they're going to sell it to the American people as, yo, that's the price of freedom, people. You know, love it or leave it. You can either be under China or you can be under us. That's the choice. You know what I'm saying? Either you have a Russian dictator or a Chinese dictator for your boss, or America's your boss. I mean, come on. You know who you want to pick, right? That's basically the sales pitch. And a lot of Americans are falling for it, and a lot of Americans don't care that that's the way it is, and a lot of Americans don't even know that that's the way it is, and never will because they don't care to find out. You know what I mean? So, I mean, good luck with that. I hope it works out. I hope it works out, Trump. You know, I really do, because I'd like to see Trump succeed. I really would. I really, really would. I wish that he would. You know what I mean? But I'll be waiting. What can I say? I'll be waiting.